coming up on this encore edition of OutLook TV, Puerto Vallarta Pride Drag Race.
The Stars Tour in Edmonton.
Edmonton Coronation 50, and much, much more.
Hello, and welcome to our encore episode of OutLook TV. I'm Emily Ann Fraser.
And I'm Darren Manette. We'd like to thank the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation for the honor and privilege of filming on the traditional unceded lands.
OutLook TV is the queer magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast.
Right on. And we're in Puerto Vallarta again with Mike because it's all about the Pride Drag Show. Ooh. Fun. Ta-da!
¿Cómo está Vallarta? Drag derby. The queens are ready. The sun is hot. Make it rain.
This next story is Darren's favorite. It's all about whacking green fuzzy balls back and forth. Andre takes us over to the Vancouver Tennis Association.
Hello everyone, salut tout le monde. Tennis is more than just a sport. It's about community, inclusivity, and having fun. I'm here in Vancouver with the Vancouver Tennis Association. Let's hit the courts and see what makes this group so special.
And what I love about the VTA is that they break through this wall, and it's accessible to everybody. And it just has this come as you are attitude. At any level, they accommodate us, and it's just a really open-minded, welcoming club to play.
This is the prettiest tennis courts really in the world, with the ocean and the trees and the gardens. And of course, it's a gay group, so they're inclusive, they are kind, they're fun. It's a wonderful group.
I think queer people present and self-express in very unique and beautiful ways in the world, and sport isn't always seen as a vehicle for that. We're trying to create space for people to see that we aren't limited to creativity in the stereotypical areas, like, for example, the arts. Tennis can also be an outlet for creativity and self-expression. So certainly want to make sure that our members in the VTA are feeling included and can self-express in that way through tennis.
Being part of the community means a lot. It's the diversity of people and inclusivity, the different points of view, the different levels that we get to play with, and we actually get to celebrate the sport that we love.
So there's like competitive tournaments, like our club championships in different GLTA tournaments that are really competitive. And then we also have social doubles and social events that are less competitive and more about just getting on the court and just hitting the ball.
playing with the VTA has definitely improved my game. You end up playing with so many different styles of players, hard hitting, slower pace, smart angles, volleyers, everything. So you get a lot of variety. You get to play against a lot of variety, and it helps that everyone is encouraging. Like everyone on court, if you want tips, they will give you tips.
Actually, when I actually play with them, I enjoyed a lot because people are so nice and very sweet and very friendly.
In many ways, VTA has been a really awesome foundation for me to get to know people, connect with strangers that I would never connect with. But more importantly, it just allowed me to just build friendships and just have fun playing tennis.
We have a lot of social events at VTA. There is Stanley Park Brewery right behind the courts. Some of us we are all encouraged, but not everyone. You know, some people have plans. We are encouraged to go and socialize in the brewery.
I think it is a less intimidating environment for some of the women to join, but I really want to emphasize that all the boys on the team is like very welcoming, very warm and kind of helpful in all kind of ways.
If you're a newcomer, I would encourage you to come and join because that's a good place to meet new friends, great people. Like honestly, we have an amazing community of people who started it from way back when and they are still playing, and every year we get new people. It's an amazing combination.
Thank you for being with us. This is Untitled in Vancouver for OutLook TV.
We have way more stuff to cover. Come on back.
You'll need a break after that, hey? I know you do. Look at you with your little scarf.
Balls.
Welcome back. You're watching OutLook TV.
You are, and now we're going to go to Edmonton and talk with Tam and the band Stars that recently toured in Edmonton.
Yes, Ali Milan is a fierce and strong ally of the LGBTQ. Check it out.
I'm Tam Grzelka. I got the chance to interview Amy Millen from iconic Montreal band Stars, who are touring Canada with the 20th anniversary of their album Set Yourself on Fire. We talk a little bit of politics, band stuff, all sorts of interesting things.
We started as a band in the year 2000. That's when it was solidified. I joined in March 2000. Chris Seligman and Torkel Campbell have been friends since they were 8 years old, and I met Evan Cranley when he was 14, so we all grew up together in small town Toronto. It was a very small town at the time, it felt like anyway. I definitely would say Stars is a political band. I think Tork and I were raised with politics in our families, and my mother, for instance, would take us door to door canvassing for the NDP when I was young. So we were always engaged politically from a young age, going to many marches. So we're touring Set Yourself on Fire, and I think it's a trend. Like, it's definitely not the first. I think Flaming Lips was the first person I noticed that was doing it with Yoshimi. And I just think it's something that it's a wonderful thing to celebrate. I mean, it's stayed in people's lives for 20 years. It still connects with people. It's a record that was seminal in people's lives. I mean, people lost their virginity to some of those songs on the record. And the wild thing about it is so many of the songs are as relevant today as they were back then, which is a bit depressing, but it's been quite something to, especially bringing it into the States at this time, and to sing He Lied About Death and to sing Celebration Guns and these sort of more political songs has been very moving. So playing the States is because of the songs that are so relevant, which is, He Lied About Death or Celebration Guns. I just think it's an important for the people who are feeling so depressed and afraid. And I've changed the lyrics, for instance, to Celebration Guns to be, and then the next day, how will you know your enemy? By their color or your fear or their gender, because I feel like the focus on the trans community and the vitriol is just disgusting and it's very alarming because that whole thing where like they came for them and then I didn't do anything and they came for them and then I didn't do anything. It's like, man, if you start telling people what to do with their bodies, my body's next. Politics are politics, and I'm really noticing something that's being left out is the climate crisis on the debates and the conversation, and everybody's sort of focused on what's happening in the United States right now. And so I just think that keep your hands off my body. It's the number one, and everybody else's. Without sounding like a Pollyanna, you know, we just have always believed in the soft revolution. And the soft revolution is just punching up, as Torkel would say. You know, you punch up, you go after the bullies as best you can, and just follow with kindness.
I'm Tam. That was my interview with Amy Millen from Stars, and you're watching OutLook TV.
Our next story, Fancy takes us all the way over to Edmonton for their 50th coronation.
He brings all the glitz, all the glamour.
Tonight, the Imperial Court system converges on Edmonton to celebrate Emperor 49 Tanner Steele and his amazing year. Let's check out all the festivities.
This year was probably one of the craziest experiences. I've done this before, so I did this with a partner. We had a great time. I thought solo, easy peasy. Completely wrong. You need that crutch of a second person to help hold you up when you need it. And I didn't have that. We got through it. My team supported me a lot, my board supported me a lot, but it was definitely complicated. So my team were all new to Upper House, and our board, we fully elected a new board this year because we had so many people quit after the last reign, so it was a lot. I am more of a reflection type person. My music goes from reflecting on where my mental health was this year, reflecting on how I've been able to overcome it, and the strength of our future generations of our court.
The way I see it in my world, it's just something I have a passion for doing. It feeds my two-spirit part of who I am, my feminine and masculine side. And it's fundraising. It's just fun. It's just something that I could do at my leisure. And yeah, well, of course, if I do become empress, it won't all be at my leisure, but it's something I'm looking forward to doing. I also want to do some events that are free, more workshops, getting to know about trans talks, sobriety, getting to know the history, just conversations, having tea time, just different kind of events that are free, but also events that are going to also raise money. And the goal is at least 50,000. Times are coming with inclusion and diversity. I want to have that as part of it. As 50 years, our first empress was a two-spirit, and I'm also two-spirit, so I thought maybe just bring it full circle. And I really believe in what we do and organizing, and it's just fun. It's a passion of mine.
Going into Reign 50, it was kind of like this would be a cool opportunity, but seeing the past couple of years of how fast we've been going to raise money for a good cause and to see the different communities that are coming a part of the court, being so in touch with those communities, I feel like I can still have that progress and have more people come out and be interested in the court. There's certain people in our community that don't have those options or their voices aren't heard. So if we can have this platform to advocate for them, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure our community is heard from all levels, from our new generation to the generation that had been here for 20, 30, 40 years, and anyone in between.
So I was ICP this year, and I found a family that I didn't think I knew and needed, but I definitely ended up needing and wanting. So going into it, I wasn't expecting anything, and then I just fell in love with the Upper House role, and I'm seeing Tanner and the way he did everything. I was just like, that's something I think I can do, and I was just like, what's next? What's one more year? When I thought of drag, I thought of it as an escape to help fund money for local organizations and stuff like that. I don't think of it as like a secondary income. I think of it as like a way to help other people. I think that's probably my biggest attraction to the ISCWR. I want a better sense of community and just try and welcome new faces to go with the old guard, as we like to call it, or more seasoned people. I'd like to bring more seasoned people back as well.
From Edmonton, my name is Empress Sister Fancy Pants for OutLook TV.
We're going to take a small break. Come on back.
Coronation, are you fancy enough? I am not.
Apparently I'm not either.
They are special. welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
So let's check in now with Leroy, who is talking with Beau Wheeler, a singer.
Yes, their new album, Trans.
What's up, Canada? Thank you for watching Outlook TV. My name is Leroy Wack. Today we are here in Gastown at Vinyl Records to get entranced with Beau Wheeler's new EP, Trans.
My grandpa. Yeah. My grandpa actually died before I came on the scene, but he played with Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., Lena Horne. He was a jazz piano player that played in Vancouver in the 60s. I guess from a really young age, I really wanted to be the kind of artist, like a goal for me was to be able to stand on my own, basically, to be able to like know about the history of music. I spent a lot of time listening to music, working in record stores and learning different instruments, drums, bass, anything. Like I just would meet musicians and like we'd become friends and then play at parties until like, 5:30 in the morning, and that's how I learned how to play the drums. And like I just always wanted to be able to like write and sing and record, know something about like the gear and stuff like that, just because I love it. I just happened to make this record because of my own personal journey at this time. I felt like while I was making it over that year, the world changed, and it felt darker by the time it was ready to be released. I just felt like it was an important thing for that trans grassroots community to have out there. I feel like trans people need to take up space in this time, but it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard for me to do that. Scary thing. But for me, I felt like that's the path that I want to take. And the reason why is because of the queer and non-binary youth that I work with. Like I want to just be there for them, take up space, sing loud, make art. Art is what makes change. Whatever you have inside of you, listen to it and take the risk of following the path of being yourself, because that's what leads to true happiness. It's not about fame. It's not about money. None of those things will make you happy. It's about creating happiness in your community and making yourself happy, and that's like a wave that goes out to your community and the ones that you love. My favorite song on the record is Trans, obviously, and I always feel like when artists talk about things that were difficult for them to work through, that always resonates for me. So I thought, I'm going to try that for myself, and it's a big part of who I am. And I was just like also really interested like in analog synths and recording, and got a chance to record this record at the Warehouse, which is like recorded this record on the mixing desk that the Beatles producer owned. Like it's pretty magical. Like I always feel like the most groundbreaking music uses the technology of the time period to push art forward, and that's what I wanted to try and do, to move away from the folk roots that I have come from and move into the realm of technology to make a statement and speak to queer youth. I took the risk of being my true self on this one. I really took a risk of making something that I believe is just sounds like me.
And from Vinyl Records in Gastown, my name is Leroy Wan.
Next up, we're going to talk with Angus, who's at the Vancouver International Film Festival and the LGBTQIA+ Film Festival.
You said it all.
It's a mouthful.
The 44th edition of the Vancouver International Film Festival kicks off this week, and today we're at the VIFF Center in downtown Vancouver to talk with their director of programming about this year's films, filmmakers, and events.
This will be our 44th edition this year, so one of the longer running festivals here in the city, and also at 170 features and 90 shorts, as well as a lot of industry programming, live programming. It is one of the largest film festivals in North America. And for this year, we have films from over 70 countries within the festival, and also really looking at how we build out some international collaborations this year. So this year we have a spotlight on Korea. We'll have 6 filmmakers presenting their first feature films here at the festival, 3 of those being world premieres, as well as a focus on India, and I think really strong work being seen from Latin America and the Balkans this year as well. really fantastic year for queer cinema, and that takes many different forms. I mentioned the Spotlight on Korea series. Excellent film in there, 3670, which looks at a North Korean defector who's now found himself in Seoul and trying to find his way into the queer community there. But maybe in a community that sometimes really foregrounds self-expression, how does someone coming from North Korea learn not only to find their way into that world, but also into a democratic space as well? Pillion is a really wild kind of sub-dom romantic comedy starring Alexander Skarsgård as well as Harry Mellon from the Harry Potter film some years ago. Really a wild film that is like really warm-hearted at the same time as well, as these two figures come together and find their own way of relating to one another from very different backgrounds and very different modes of expression as well.
Estoy hablando con vos, weón. Yo estoy hablando con vos, po.
Mysterious Gaze of the Flamingo is a really poetic film, but one of the films that are in kind of the queer lens, but are also Oscar submissions for their given countries as well. Another one of those being Little Trouble Girls, one of those being a standout from Cannes, another one being a standout from Berlin this year.
Exprime notamment de la souffrance. Oh, tu suis ou tu manges?
And The Little Sister is another film, a first feature by a filmmaker, one of the standout films in the Cannes Film Festival this year that'll be playing at VIFF.
Être libre est n'obéir qu'à soi. Dans sa chanson intitulée Ma liberté.
I really feel that the cinematic experience this year, given all the noise in the world, it's a good opportunity to disconnect from that noise, but to really engage with the world through the art of cinema. And it's a unique opportunity and one that we shouldn't take for granted.
For OutLook TV, this is Angus Pratt at the VIFF Center in downtown Vancouver.
Well, after that story, that's all the time we have left on this episode of OutLook TV, but there's lots to talk about, so we will be back.
All right, so thanks for joining us on this encore presentation. And if you want to check us out on our socials, that's cool. Even better, come and volunteer with us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. I'm Emily Ann Fraser.
And I'm Darren Monette.
Stay fabulous, Canada.